It started with a single clip, a shaky video recorded in the dark. Streets of Los Angeles. A man, unarmed, begging for his life. And the officers? They were laughing. The next morning, every news channel called it a successful police operation. But one journalist, David Carter, saw what others didn't. He knew this wasn't justice. It was murder. He tried to expose the truth. But before he could publish the story, they found him. His body was gone. His voice, silenced. Yet what he left behind shook an entire city.
What would you do if something you worked hard for, something you owned, was suddenly claimed by someone else? Not because of rules, not because of money, but because of arrogance? This is the story of Devin Harrington, a man whose simple dream of powering his electric car turned into a neighborhood war. And when the HOA president decided his charger was public property, Devin set a trap that no one in that community would ever forget. Devin Harrington had always believed in keeping life simple. At 42, he had worked tirelessly as an engineer to give his family the life he never had growing up. He, his wife Monica, and their teenage son, Jordan, had just moved into what they thought would be their dream neighborhood, Maplewood. Estates in Atlanta, Georgia. Wide streets, trimmed lawns, children playing outside. It all seemed perfect. But perfect neighborhoods often hide imperfect people. And for Devin, that imperfection had a name: Patricia Rowden. Patricia was the HOA president, a woman in her mid-50s with a sharp haircut, sharper tongue, and a sense of authority that went far beyond her actual power. Everyone in Maplewood knew her. She was the kind of person who measured grass with a ruler, who sent warning letters for leaving trash cans out 10 minutes too long. Behind her back, people called her the neighborhood Karen, but in public, no one dared stand against her until Devin moved in. When Devin bought his new electric car, he felt proud. It wasn't just about technology. It was about progress, about doing something good for the environment. Installing a personal EV charger in his driveway felt like the natural next step. To him, it was nothing more than a household upgrade. But Patricia saw it differently. When she spotted the sleek silver charger gleaming in Devin's driveway, her eyes narrowed. To her, it wasn't Devin's property. It was something she could control.
When David showed the clip to his editor, Mark Hudson, the man's face drained of color. "We can't publish this," Mark said softly. "It's suicide." And silence. David asked, "That's survival?" The editor looked away. The world didn't need heroes anymore. It only needed survivors. Days turned into weeks. David filled his home office wall with sticky notes, names, photos, license numbers, all connected with red string like veins of corruption. At the center of it all, Detective Mason, the LAPD's ghost cop, a man who never arrested criminals, only erased them. David tracked down a retired officer, Tom Harris, who once worked under Mason. The man's hand shook as he spoke. "You don't get it, Carter," he said. "You join Mason's team, you either kill, or you disappear." From that night on, David knew he was being watched. His emails vanished. His calls dropped mid-sentence. One evening, he found a note under his windshield. "Stop writing, or we'll finish your story for you." Emily cried when she saw it. "This isn't bravery anymore," she pleaded. "It's madness. If we stay silent," he whispered, "we become them." He barely slept now. The hum of the refrigerator sounded like footsteps. The rain tapping the window felt like someone knocking. But he didn't stop. When no outlet agreed to publish, he turned to a young journalist, Chloe Evans, a fearless intern running an independent news blog. Together, they dug deeper, hacking through lies, threats, and secrets buried under bureaucratic dirt. They uncovered proof that Detective Mason's operations were approved by Commissioner Brooks, the city's powerful law enforcer. The so-called criminals were whistleblowers, activists, and witnesses, people too dangerous to be left alive. One night, David recorded a confession from a former officer, his voice trembling in the dark. "We were told to kill, not question. Anyone who hesitated vanished." David hid the video in multiple hard drives, encrypted it, and mailed copies to Chloe. Then he sat in silence, the glow of the computer reflecting in his tired eyes. Emily found him like that, hours later, pale, quiet, distant. "You look scared," she said softly. "I am," he whispered. "But not of dying. Of being forgotten." That night, as the rain poured over Los Angeles, David uploaded the files to an international press network. It took hours. When the upload finished, he exhaled, leaned back, and smiled faintly, not in relief, but in resignation. Minutes later, he noticed the headlights outside. A black SUV parked across the street. He knew.
A few days later, Devin found a folded letter shoved under his door. He read it aloud to Monica. Per HOA policy, any external electrical installation must be accessible to the community. Failure to comply may result in penalties. Monica frowned. Accessible to the community? What does that even mean? Devin shook his head. It means Patricia wants to use it, and she's twisting the rules to get her way. That night, Devin charged his car as usual. But the next morning, something didn't feel right. The battery wasn't fully charged. Confused, he checked the charger's data log. His eyebrows raised. There were usage spikes at odd hours, times when his car hadn't even been connected. Someone's been stealing power, he muttered. He didn't want to accuse anyone without proof. So he set up a small camera facing the driveway, and the truth revealed itself faster than he imagined. At 1:30 a.m., Patricia walked right up to his driveway with her hybrid SUV, plugged into Devin's charger, and stood there sipping coffee as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Devin felt his blood boil. She wasn't just abusing his property, she was mocking him. The next HOA meeting was crowded, tense, and suffocating. Devin stood up and confronted her in front of everyone. "This charger belongs to me. You can't just use it without permission." Patricia didn't even flinch. With a smug smile, she replied, "Oh, Devin, don't be so selfish. The HOA rules clearly state that community resources should benefit everyone. Your charger is on display, which makes it public property." The room erupted into whispers. Some neighbors shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Others avoided eye contact.